Are you looking for the best bodyweight exercises you can do to improve your posture? This video is going to show you what I think are the best exercises you can do to improve your posture, to fix rounded shoulders, to strengthen your core, and to get rid of shoulder, neck, and back pain. Check it out. All right, guys, welcome to Paleo Yoga. My name is Dean. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best exercises with using only body weight to improve your posture. So we're going to be working a lot on building active strength and mobility, not so much on stretching, more so on strengthening the muscles that get weak as a result of inactivity and sitting. So in this routine, I'm going to show you those exercises. I'm going to tell you some main technique points you want to keep in mind. I'll give you the recommended time for each, so how long you should hold it, how often you should do it. And just a little bit of background on this. This is from a presentation I just gave at the Paleo FX conference, which is a world-renowned paleo conference here in Austin, Texas. I was very excited this year. I got to do a presentation, and my topic was on restoring your body's natural posture. So what I'm about to show you are the exercises that I did in that presentation. So it's going to be a really cool, really informative little video here. Now I'm going to move through these exercises somewhat quickly, because I just want this video to be as short as possible, and I want to show you the exercises that you can do to improve your posture. So keep in mind, you might want to hold them longer than what we practice in this. Also, you don't have to do all these exercises to improve your posture. You can choose just 2, 3, or 5 if you only have a few minutes. All right, here we go. We need no equipment for this, and we're going to get started on the ground. So first thing to do is get your hips and your core warm. And this is also going to help with decompressing your spine. Lay down on your back, bring your knees in toward your chest, keep your knees over your thighs, and then press your hands into your thighs. Push your thighs back into your hands. I call this hands to thighs. And you're just working on tightening your core, getting your hip flexors to turn on, and hopefully feeling some release in your back. Make sure to keep your neck down. This one I would do for at least 30 seconds, and maybe up to 60. From here, we take it into a reclined twist. So bringing your legs over toward the right, keeping your left shoulder on the ground, right hand to your left knee. This is going to open up your low back. You want to make sure that your hips face to the outside and your torso faces straight up. You'll also feel a stretch through the outer left hip here. Keep the left shoulder down. Keep that right hand on the left knee to help open up and stretch. Then you're going to switch sides, do the same thing on the opposite side. Again, right shoulder squeezing to the ground, the hand to the right knee here, and you're going to look straight up. Try and come over here, and you're going to say hi to your dog. So this is, again, 30 seconds here, and I would do this every day. This is really important for your low back and keeping that low back healthy. Bring it back to the middle, and then from here we're going up into a bridge. Feet go in front of your hips, toes face straight forward. Press down through your feet, squeeze your butt, and lift your hips. Now, one thing I want you to keep in mind here, it's not a competition to arch your back as much as possible. Keep your ribs drawn in. Try to keep your abs just like you would have them for a plank, and focus on the hip engagement. So we're squeezing your butt, squeezing your heels toward your shoulders, almost like you're pulling your torso forward, and then again, really driving down through your feet. This is a really good exercise for turning on your glutes, working on your hips, and also your core. And you're going to feel this in your erector spinae as well. This is directly countering what we do when we sit. From here, take it into a single leg. So everything stays the same, but bring your right leg out. Make sure your hips stay level, and then really focus on this left glute. You're going to do both of these for about 30 to 60 seconds. When you're finished with one side, switch to the other. Try to keep the heel below the knee. Don't have it too far out here. You also don't want to have it too far in. So again, kind of right under the knee there, keeping the hips level, keeping your core tight, protecting your back. All right, go ahead and relax there. From here, we're going to flip over. We're going to work on your shoulders a little bit here. So these are really good exercises to work on your scapular stability. So basically, strengthening the muscles that get weak when you sit in your upper back and shoulders. There are a few ways to do this. The way that we practice in the presentation,
We did it from a child's pose because I didn't want your head on the ground because the mats were kind of dirty. So for this, you'd go into a child's pose position. You'll do one hand at a time. First, we're going to start with the left hand. We're going to reach that arm up as high as possible, keeping the shoulder pulled down and back, turning the thumbs to face up, locking out the elbow, squeezing the triceps and the biceps, and then again, getting that arm as high as possible, holding for 30 seconds while keeping the neck relaxed. From here, we're doing to the other side, the right arm up, left hand down. Again, shoulder stays plugged in, thumb faces up, biceps and triceps fully engaged. 30 seconds each of those stations. Next one is to come straight out to the side. So left arm comes up, we squeeze it up as high as possible. Make sure to keep your shoulders squared to the ground. So I'm not going to open up and twist here at all. I'm just squeezing my arm up. 30 seconds there. And then to switch, you're going to turn your palm to face up, same arm, and then reach up and back. Avoid internally rotating the shoulder here, so keep the shoulder blade pulled down and back. Lock out the arm, press your palm toward the ceiling. And again, 30 seconds there. We're going to switch sides, do the other one. Right arm out, squeeze it up. Again, chest stays down. And you're going to feel this in the outer shoulder and inside the shoulder blade. Neck stays relaxed. So I'm not using my neck to lift here, keeping my head relaxed. And then again, switching by turning the palm to face up, reaching up and back, avoiding internal rotation of the shoulder. So I'm avoiding impingement in the shoulder by keeping the shoulder blade pulling down and back. 30 seconds there as well. You can also do this from your chest. You can lie flat on your chest here. We can go through all those exercises that we did with both arms this time. So you can do here, the first one, kind of in Y arms, and then going out to a T, and then going into a W for that last one. All right, so those are your prone or your scapular stability exercises. From here, we're going to work on some more scapular stability, some more shoulder stuff. Most people tend to bring their hands behind their back and interlace their fingers. I'm going to have you do that without actually interlacing your fingers. So bring your hands behind your back as much as you can. Pull the elbows back and then squeeze your elbows toward one another. Keep your chest as open as possible. From here, you squeeze the elbows back even more. Pull the shoulder blades in tight toward one another and then extend your arms back, starting to press your hands toward one another. Notice that I'm not rounding the shoulders in here. I'm keeping the shoulders open. And this one you'll also want to do for, I'd say, at least 30 seconds, 45 or 60 seconds would be even better. All right, so shoulders are active. We opened up the shoulders, we've opened up the chest, and we've activated the muscles in the back. Next one is a lunge. This is the most important thing you can do for your hips if you're sitting a lot. So start from a right leg forward, take a big step back with your left foot, work on squeezing both glutes. So not just a passive lunge, but squeezing both glutes. Squeeze your legs toward one another. Pull your ribs up away from your hips. Get really nice posture here. And hold here. So we want to make sure the glutes are engaged. That's going to help open the hips more. We want the legs squeezing together to strengthen the inner thighs. And we want to have the ribs lifted away from the hips. From here, we're going to go into a low lunge. So you can take this down all the way. So knee coming down, but keeping the weight in the hips. I'm not shifting the weight and resting on my knee. I'm keeping the weight in my hips. And then this one, any of these lunges, I would say from 30 to 60 seconds each. Obviously, from there, we're going to switch sides. So left leg forward, step back, make sure the weight is in the hips. I've got my glutes engaged, squeezing my butt muscles, legs squeezing toward one another, and I'm driving whatever hip is forward, I'm driving that hip toward the ground, and that's going to help with better glute engagement. Again, 30 seconds here in this lunge. Cool thing about a lunge is we can do a lot of different things from here. We can do thoracic twist. We can do a back bend. We can do airplane arms. There's a lot of things we can do here. So, but the foundation of the lunge, the hip aspect is what you really want to focus on here. And again, the hips, the ribs lifting away from the hips. From here, moving into cervical decompression. So it's really important that we lengthen the cervical spine, your neck. The easy way to do this that I like doing, hands behind the neck, drive your hands into your head and push your head back into your hands, pulling your chin in toward your throat. So you're going to do this for about 30, 45, or 60 seconds. You can also do this on the ground with a foam roller in your mid-back. So you can do this laying down as well. This is just a way to do it standing. So again, 30, 45, maybe 60 seconds here head pushing into the hands, hands lightly pressing into the head, shoulder blades pulled down and back. So I do feel my scapular stabilizers working there. Next one, thoracic twist. So hands behind the neck once more. You're going to work on keeping your hips squared forward. This is a very strict twist. As you inhale, stay in the middle. As you exhale, turn or squeeze your elbow back, turn toward the left. Try to get your torso to face to the left as much as possible. Avoid letting that right hip come forward. So keep the right hip back. Again, really strict twist. Back to the middle, and then switch to the other side. Exhaling as you twist. You're going to do 5 to 10 of those per side, making sure the hips stay squared forward, pushing down through my feet, squeezing my thighs, hips, core the entire time. Next one is a standing back bend. This is the one most important ones you can do. Push down through your feet, lift your arms overhead, reach up and back. Avoid bending your knees and letting your hips sink forward. Instead, I want you to focus on keeping your lower back neutral, so we're not arching the low back too much. Squeeze your hips, press down through your feet, keep your core tight to protect your spine, and think of bending from the mid-back up. So here I'm squeezing my arms up and back. I'm feeling the muscles between the shoulder blades engage, lifting my chest up, pushing the top of my head away from my body, squeezing back, and holding here for 30 to 60 seconds. This one's also really good for improving your energy. Next one is a high lunge with a back bend. So we've done a lunge, we've done a back bend. We're going to put that together into a very efficient exercise for posture, hips, and spine and core. So right leg forward, step your left leg back, squeeze the legs toward one another. So I've got my good high lunge, my glutes are engaged. I'm lifting my ribs away from my hips. I've got good posture here. The arms come back, and then I squeeze my arms back. I lift my chest up toward the ceiling. The head presses away from the shoulders, and I hold here for 30 to 60 seconds. I'm getting a deeper stretch through my hips. I'm getting some nice extension to my spine. I'm also challenging my core strength. That's a really good one for directly restoring posture. Then I'm going to switch sides, do the other side, same thing, making sure that I'm pushing down through my feet, squeezing the legs toward one another, feeling the hips open up, but also strengthening through my glutes, through my core, and through my back as I reach up and back in that high lunge with the back bend. Next one is a wide-legged forward fold. And I say fold with quotations like this because I don't want you to actually round your spine. So to do this, you're going to get into your wide-legged stance, push into the outer edges of your feet, squeeze your legs toward one another, and then bend the knees. You want to keep your spine here and your core just like you'd have it for a plank. So it's straight. We aren't rounding here. So pull the chest upright, keep the abs tight, bend the knees, and then hinge until you feel the stretch to the backs of your legs. And you might not have to go that far. So if you look at me from the side here, I don't have to go that far to feel the stretch. And I'm a yoga instructor, so I'm pretty flexible, I would like to think. So my back is flat though. I'm not reinforcing poor posture, which is rounding the spine here. I'm keeping the chest upright, keeping a nice neutral spine. Again, my core feels just like I would for a plank. And this is all I need to go to feel that stretch, but also keep good posture. Problem with a lot of yoga postures is that you round the spine to stretch your hamstrings or your inner thighs. But keeping your back flat in this position, we're able to reinforce good posture, strengthen your core and your spine while getting that hamstring stretch. And then finally, we're doing a pigeon, an upright pigeon. So instead of doing a pigeon where you kind of relax your chest on the ground, I'm going to keep my chest upright. So go into your pigeon. I can start from a lunge here, walk the right foot across the mat, lower that right knee to the ground, inner thigh faces up, outer thigh faces down. Pull my chest forward and up, and notice that I'm not collapsing my chest toward my shin. I'm keeping my chest pulling up and away from my hips. And notice now I've got a nice little curve to my back, right? I've got a little extension to my spine instead of this, which is what a lot of people do in yoga. This is collapsing the spine, rounding the back. So doing pigeon with an upright spine, strengthening my spine, strengthening my erector spinae, keeping the abs tight to protect the spine, and also getting a wonderful stretch through my hips. You can start with your hands on the ground. You can work your way to hands lifted off the ground, maybe coming behind you, and maybe lifting up and forward to really challenge yourself. And that's it. So those are the exercises. Again, we went kind of quick through these because I just wanted to show you the exercises. I do have full routines that work on this in my members area online. There also might be some workouts on YouTube that will show these exercises as well. So if you like this video, leave a like. It really helps. If you have any questions on posture or you found any one of these exercises in particular helpful, I'd love for you to comment and leave a response. Again, this was from the Paleo FX conference. I just did a presentation there last weekend on restoring your body's natural posture. And these exercises are what made up that presentation. Keep in mind, you don't have to do all of these exercises to help with your posture. You can just do 3, 4, or 5 of them whenever you have a few minutes of spare time. I do have a program called the Posture Fix, which incorporates these exercises in particular to help with undoing the stress of sitting at a desk, of being inactive, and just living a generally sedentary lifestyle. All right, spending a lot of time on the phones, spending a lot of time on the computer, and that is part of the members area on my website on manfulyoga.com. You can learn more by heading over to the website and checking that out. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Hope you enjoyed.